If you have not come across a fix and flip opportunity in the last few months and you are a real estate agent and you're active, you are not thinking about it. You are not actively thinking that this is going to be part of your plan. I'm going to give you an example of this just so you can understand how simple this can be and how you can literally turn a profit just by having your eyes open. So by investing, you're actually getting back more time, not less. Welcome, everybody, back to the Agent Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Caffarella. Real estate investing should not take any additional hours per week for real estate agents. We have a lot to discuss today. My main purpose is to help real estate agents get off the real estate roller coaster. If you're living commission check to commission check, if you've got anxiety about what the next year might bring as an agent, I implore you to diversify your income and start not just helping others buy real estate, but learning how to buy real estate yourself. We teach agents how to do this without adding hours, which is going to be the topic for today. And we teach them how to do it without any starting capital like I did. So for today, we're going to talk about that hour thing, because a lot of times when I first talk to real estate agents, and I do a lot of reach out, obviously I try to grow, my brand, and I try to grow my audience as much as possible. And even though, like, I would say legit 9 out of 10 real estate agents tell me that they want to invest in real estate, the vast majority don't start because they believe that they don't have enough time. A lot of what I hear is that they're super busy in their own business, they're super busy in their life, and in a lot of times, they're not even available to listen or have a phone call or come to an event because they incorrectly think that investing in real estate is going to be this big ordeal that's totally separate and totally outside what they normally do on a day-to-day basis, which couldn't be more further from the truth. It's why I created Agent Investor, to combine the two practices of being an agent and being an investor, for that simple fact that every real estate agent can do this without spending more time, without taking up hours and hours a week that I know most of you don't have. And I'm going to talk about exactly how I recommend doing this. And yes, I will admit, I will be the first person to admit, if you are an accountant, an attorney, somebody with a W-2 job, it is going to be almost impossible to invest in real estate without investing a lot of time per week. But I would argue, and have proven, not only with myself, but with other agents that I've worked with and that I've helped, that you truly don't need to add a ton of extra hours every single week in order to start investing in real estate. Okay. And again, I'm going to talk about exactly why. Might sound a little bit exaggerated, might sound like maybe even a myth, but it is 100% true. If you do what I call following the agent investor model, okay? The agent investor model has 3 steps. They're all super easy, and they all, can be done by any agent, and they can help any agent sell real estate, find big fix and flip profits for big chunks of income, to then use to invest passively so that they can get off the real estate roller coaster, which is the number one thing that my message that I spread. Okay, so step number 1 in the agent investor model is to continue selling real estate like you always have. Keep doing what you're doing, but learn how to identify fix and flip opportunities. I'll go into more detail on that in a second. Step number 2. And again, this is all about conserving time. This is all about you not spending any additional hours to learn how to invest. Step number 2 is once you find a property that you can fix and flip, let us know about it. Reach out to me directly. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me a text. Send me an email. Reach out to me or reach out to somebody in my company. Let us know about that fix and flip opportunity. We will buy that property. We will renovate that property. We will put up all the money for that property. Then we will sell that property and split the profits with you 50-50. I know many of you know about our Agent Investor Partner Program, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. If you do want to learn more about it, you can watch my on-demand webinar at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. On that webinar that you can watch whenever you want, again, all you have to do is go to www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. All you need to do is go watch it. It'll teach you how to identify fix and flip opportunities. It'll tell you all about our partnership program, all the nitty-gritty details. Again, I'm not going to go into them today. I'm going to talk about how you can do all this stuff without any extra time today. Okay, so again, step 1 of the agent investor model, and again, all this stuff you won't be spending any more time. Step 1, keep selling real estate, but identify fix and flips. Step 2, send those fix and flips to us, and we'll send you a check at the end. Step number 3, when you get that check, the average fix and flip profit that we split with agents is $80,000. Yeah, there's a lot of range, but that's the average. When you get that big chunk of income, step number 3, in my opinion, is to invest it. Now, you can do whatever you want with it. You can go out, you can buy a car, you can go out, you can go on vacation, you can put the money in your bank account and not invest it. But the agent investor model, if you follow it and you want to get off the real estate roller coaster, you want to own assets that pay you forever. If you hate real estate, I mean, you can invest in other things. You can buy gold, you can buy stocks, you can buy bonds, you can invest in collectibles, whatever you want to invest in. But in my opinion, you want to own assets that pay you forever. I prefer real estate. I believe most real estate agents prefer it too. And you do enough of what I just said. You follow those 3 steps. And in year 2, in year 3, in year 4, in year 5, yes, it will take a little bit of time to build up those assets. You're going to have $5 or $10 or $15 or $20,000 of passive cash flow coming in each and every month with assets that are increasing in value and giving you tax benefits. Okay, so Tom, like if this was so easy, why wouldn't everybody do it? And how do I do this with no time? Which is, again, the whole principle of what we're talking about today. Well, most people don't do it because, one, they don't know about our agent partnership program. If you're a loyal listener, you've heard, all about it. But if you're lucky enough to live in my neck of the woods, you have this ability to turn your fix and flip opportunities into cash without you putting up any money or doing any of the construction. So, if you go to another part of the country, or if you don't know about the program, this is not something you can do on your own without risking your own capital and spending a lot of your own time, right? Like if you said as a real estate agent, I need to do all of this stuff myself, I would agree. Learning how to renovate properties, spending the time doing it, managing contractors, risking your own capital, yeah, that is overwhelming. And I think that most people don't know about our partner program, or, just for whatever reason, haven't taken advantage of it yet. And yeah, it would be a daunting task if you had to do all of that stuff on their own. The other couple of components as to why most people don't do this is because I will be, completely honest with you. A good number of people that I talk to, or even just have brief conversations with, I can tell, and again, I'm just being fully transparent, fully honest, that they don't believe that this stuff is real, that this could be some sort of unethical thing to do, or that they believe that they'll never come across a fix and flip opportunity. And so I will say that if you have not come across a fix and flip opportunity in the last few months, and you are a real estate agent and you're active, it is because you are not thinking about it. You are not actively thinking that this is going to be part of your plan. Okay. And I've mentioned the reticular activation system of people's brain in the past, and I talk about it a little bit in in-person events, but it's as simple as this. There's a part of our brain called the reticular activation system. I'm going to get this a little bit wrong, but I'll get the premise right. Essentially, your brain is overwhelmed in 2026 with a lot of different things. You've got social media, TV, radio, people trying to talk to you in person, people trying to talk to you online. You are distracted constantly. If your brain paid attention to every stimulus that was out there, you wouldn't even be able to get out of bed, right, in 2026. So your brain does a really, really good job of figuring out, what do I need to pay attention to? Because I can't pay attention to everything, or else I wouldn't be able to get out of bed in the morning. So your brain does a really good job of figuring out, like, what triggers for you as a person, for your survival and your benefit, should I pay attention to? And the reticular activation system in your brain is highlighted when you go out and you buy a new vehicle. I bought my wife a black Honda Odyssey minivan. I've got 4 kids. So we went out, we bought a black Honda Odyssey vehicle. Guess what? Now, when I'm walking around, when I'm driving around, at least once a week, I see a black Honda Odyssey minivan. There are no additional black Honda Odyssey minivans than there were the day before I bought that vehicle, right? And I'm sure this has happened to you too with your vehicles. So if I said if somebody said to me before I bought the vehicle, hey, Tom, how many black Honda Odysseys are out there on the road every day? I would have thought, well, I haven't seen one in a year or 2 years or 3 years, or maybe I never saw one. This is the same exact thing when it comes to fix and flip opportunities. It's the same exact thing. You're not aware of it. Your brain isn't even programmed to look for it. It doesn't know where to look for it. But when it is programmed to look for it, and the vehicle is the most obvious example of this, you start seeing those black Honda Odysseys everywhere. You start seeing fix and flip deals everywhere. And when I say everywhere, again, I want to be very clear and very honest about this. You're not going to see, a fix and flip opportunity, a great fix and flip opportunity every single day. You're just not. Just like I'm not going to see a black Honda Odyssey out there every single day. But if you do not make a concerted effort to say, yes, I want to follow the agent investor model, and yes, I want to learn about how to spot these kinds of deals, then yeah, you're never going to find one. Like, you're not going to find, gold, buried in the ground is not going to come out of the ground for you and jump up into your hands and help you deposit it into a safety deposit box, right? This is the same thing, right? But again, going back to kind of the premise of what we're talking about today, we're talking about, how do agents get off the real estate roller coaster? How do they get to own assets without any capital to start? It's all about finding those flip deals without spending additional time, right? So the only additional time that I would recommend spending, and it's not a lot, is to first go to my webinar, www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Learn the basics about how to spot these deals. Number 2, come to some of my events at www.agentinvestorevent.com and start learning about how to find some of these deals. Do not, go on BiggerPockets and spend 3 hours a week on BiggerPockets. Don't go out and buy a random real estate book. You don't need that. Like, we specialize and teach real estate agents how to find these types of deals for real estate agents. And again, there are literally a million and one ways that I shouldn't say that. There are a lot of different ways that real estate agents can go out and they can find these deals without doing extra work. All right. And I'm going to give you an example of this just so you can understand how simple this can be and how you can literally turn a profit just by having your eyes open. And I've told this story before, but it really highlights how simple this can be and how you can do this without spending any additional time. So I held a real estate investing event. Again, all of my events, regardless of when you're listening to this, you can go to www.agentinvestorevent.com and you can look up when they are. So a real estate agent, his name is Henry Nugent. He went to my event. He registered at www.agentinvestorevent.com. He learned about the basics about how to find fix and flip deals. Okay. Couple weeks later, he went to a continuing education in-person realtor event. He overheard a realtor talking about a property, a beat up property that he was about to list at 15 Merriam in Quincy, Massachusetts. Henry connected us with that agent, and we ended up buying that property, renovating that property, flipping that property, and the deal made $52,000. Henry Nugent got $26,000 of that $52,000. That $26,000, if he follows through with all three steps of the agent investor model, can be used to invest. Now, the $26,000 you can buy stocks, you can buy bonds, you can save up that money for a down payment on an asset that will pay you forever. You can put the money into stocks for the temporarily and then sell them when you have enough money for a down payment on an asset that will pay you forever. Henry did not do anything that he wasn't normally doing. He was doing everything he was normally doing as an agent. This is what the agent investor model is all about. It is not, to be clear, it is not about me telling you that you need to stop being an agent, you need to stop investing. No, because they are essentially the same thing. You are out there, you are pounding the pavements, you are talking to buyers, you are talking to sellers. Just by having the awareness that you can profit from this. By the way, on the Henry Nugent deal, there were 4 people who won on that deal. It wasn't just us, right? We won, we made $26,000. Henry won, he made $26,000. The agent who was about to list the property got the full commission. And the seller got to sell without having to show the property for a price that they were happy with. 4 different people won. That's another thing that exemplifies what being an agent investor is. It is creating win-win scenarios. It is about having more than one option to provide to your buyers, to your sellers. It is about being more valuable than just putting a property on the MLS, right? You provide more value. You do things a little smarter. Now you have, more money. You can invest that money. Again, the whole premise is to get off the real estate roller coaster. I want to make one more point here because, again, a lot of people will tell me, I don't invest in real estate because I don't have time or I don't have money. Those are the 2 things. And again, it seems really logical. Like, I don't have time. Well, how can I add something extra? I don't have money. Well, how can I buy an asset? But I just gave you an example with the money part where I went into detail on why you need no money to buy an asset. Henry found a fix and flip opportunity. We put up all the money. We did all the construction, and then we cut him a check, right? So Henry invested without having to put up any money. Henry might have had the money to do it, but he didn't have to put up the money. And if Henry does 2 or 3 of those deals with us in a year, he can buy 1 multifamily or 1 vacation property, vacation rental a year, or whatever type of assets he wants to own. So the not having money thing is not true. It is just not true. And then the not having time part, well, in that example with Henry, What extra time did he spend? He didn't spend any extra time. But I want to make one more point here, which is, so if you tell me, oh, I don't have time, I don't have money to do this, what happens if you follow the agent investor model? And let's say Henry does 2 or 3 deals with us in a year. And he does that every single year. And every single year he buys one piece of rental property. And it cash flows. And the cash flows $1,500 a month. And then in 4 years, he's got $6,000 a month coming in each and every month. Does that give you more time or less time? Hear me out on this. So if you have $6,000 a month coming in, and I'm using that as an example of a reasonable thing to do within a 4-year period of time. Of course, you can beat that. I'm giving something that is relatively conservative. If you do that over a 4-year period and you have $6,000 a month coming in, you now can spend your time a little bit smarter. I'll give you an example, and these are all examples. But we all know as real estate salespeople that we sometimes take on clients that we shouldn't. We meet with a client. We leave the meeting. We're like, I just signed that buyer agreement, but I don't think they're even going to buy. I'm pretty confident they're not going to buy. Or I just signed that listing agreement, but I don't think they're even going to sell. Now, why do we take those buyer agreements? Why do we take those listings? Because we need the money, right? And even if there is a 10% chance that somebody's going to buy or somebody's going to sell, a lot of times we take it, right? Wouldn't you be better off if you're in a position where you have $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month of passive income coming in, where you can say, you know what? I'm really not confident that that person's ever going to buy or sell. Let me either say no or hand it off to a teammate and get a cut of that commission, get a referral fee if they do end up ever doing anything. So by investing, you're actually getting back more time, not less. So by investing in real estate, especially over the long haul, right? We talked about a 3 or 4 year period. What happens when you hit the 10-year mark and you're at 10 or 12 or 15 or $20,000 of passive income? You can get to a point where you don't even have to earn commission anymore. Okay? Is that a guarantee? No. But I can tell you this, you will get far closer to that period if you are an agent investor. If you go on my webinar at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com and you learn how to find deals. If you show up to one of my events at www.agentinvestorevent.com and learn how to find deals. Okay. This stuff is absolutely worthwhile. It should not take you any more time. You should not have to do, and I mean this, like this is going to sound a little bit self-serving, and I'm not discouraging you from reading books and going to other events and other seminars, but you should not need to do anything other than listen to my podcast, show up to my events. And that should take you minimal time. This should not be a major source of time. Like you can ask us questions. You don't need to do any of this stuff from scratch. Let us help you do it. Let us take our time and our experience so that you don't have to. All right. Yeah, I'm going to wrap on this. Like there truly is no excuse not to invest in real estate. You don't need money. You don't need a whole bunch of extra time. I'm going to say this like at max, if you follow the agent investor model, maybe it's 1 more hour per week. Truly, 1 more hour per week. And that's it. So guys, please, if you are serious about this, make the mental commitment because that's where it all starts. It doesn't start anywhere else. You have to open your eyes and open your mind to the fact that this does work. By the way, I'm happy to provide you with other agents who have done this besides myself. I've done all this. Happy to provide you with other agents that have done this too. But this stuff works. So So guys, thank you for tuning in this week. I'll be back next week with more content. Again, make sure you register for the next event. Get educated. Don't spend a bunch of time. Spend a little bit of time getting educated. We'll help you there. www.agentinvestorevent.com.